All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the final match of the day, and Rybakina is taking on Potapova. Rybakina played yesterday, as did Potapova. Both played three-setters, so both had to fight for their spot tonight. But the winner of this match gets the day off tomorrow, so that's not bad. By the way, Menchik won the first set 6-4 against Khachanov. Zverev Menchik is likely to be the the fourth round tomorrow. It'll be late, like this time tomorrow night will be the final, will be that match. So plenty of time for both those guys to get ready. But yeah, let's see. Rybakina versus Potapova. Winner plays. The winner plays Pliskova, who ended up winning earlier today against Sierra. We also got Noskova Kostyuk, Andreeva Fernandez, and Baptiste Sabalenka. So a bit of a random assortment of players, but not totally out of the box, because there's a few players that are returning to quarterfinals of 1000s. There's some players that are getting to their second or third, and there's some players that are there all the time. So yeah, it's a bit of it's not a random lineup, but it's definitely not the expected lineup. You know, we've only got two top 10 players in the quarterfinals as of now. Pliskova, former top 10. Baptiste, Fernandez, Noskova, Kostyuk. Familiar names, but not top 10 players, right? So a little bit less obvious at this point, but then who knows, right? Sabalenka, Andreeva, winner plays Rybakina in the final. That'll feel familiar, but yeah, it's good to see that we're getting a couple of different names. Obviously, the reason why we're getting these names, Baptiste took out Paolini, so that's why Paolini's not there. Swiatek went down to Lee. Lee lost to Fernandez. Kostyuk took out Pegula and took her spot in the draw. And Noskova took out Gauff today. And Pliskova, there was a lot of withdrawals in the Pliskova area. No Anisimova in that section. So, yeah, it is a little bit different to what we all have been getting used to with these quarterfinals. Usually we're getting top 10 clashes in the quarterfinals, but we haven't had a top 10 clash yet, so we'll see. Yeah, McNally took out Mboko as well, yep. So, yeah. Mukova withdrew. So, yeah. But let's see. Apparently, Zverev had an injury at the end. Yeah, I heard that too. Might be a withdrawal incoming considering Roland Garros. I hope not. God, I hope not. Please no. Please definitely don't do that. Definitely don't withdraw. For the love of for the love of the team. Better to rest it now than not be fit for Rome. Yeah, but Rome's in a week. I mean, for him, it's probably more like 10 days. But, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what. Like, pull out of this tournament, play Rome, or play this tournament and assess Rome. He's playing Hamburg too. So it's not like Rome and then Roland Garros. It's Rome, Hamburg, Roland Garros. So, I mean, does he play this out if he's okay and then pull out of Rome, or does he pull out of here and play Rome and then if it's not good at Rome, play at Hamburg? I don't know. Imagine making it worse. Yeah, well, I doubt he'll play Rome, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think either, but yeah. Here we go. The players are warming up. By the way, chat, both these players used to play for Russia. And now they don't. All right. I mean, better to rest it now. Yeah. Can Sinner beat Norrie? Can you ask better questions? Because, like, every day you come up with this. It's like me coming here and telling the same joke every day. It's like, I saw people in the last stream be like, bro, can you, like, say something different? Like, you say this every day. You always ask, like, this is what I imagine you're doing in, like, at home, right? You're like, can Sinner beat Norrie? It's like, we're all like, oh, get a better joke. You said it every day. Every day. You ask if Sinner has a chance. Oh, it's like, why? Come on. Come on. You got to get better jokes. It's getting way too repetitive. And I've ignored it, like, for the last 4 days. Like, I see it and I'm like, come on. And it's fine. You can keep doing that. But people in the chat are getting bugged. And I saw that in the last stream. People are like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I can ignore it. But when people in the chat start to get annoyed, I have to say something. So I feel like it's time for better jokes. Because I think it's kind of grating some people. All right, here we go. Hey! Bo, thank you for the 25 months. Appreciate that. Thank you for the for sticking around. If Zverev, Djokovic, and Alcaraz are out of Rome, that throws so much up in the air. I think Djokovic will play. I reckon Djokovic will play. Do you sleep? Sometimes. Cam, do you think Rybakina will be tired from playing too much tennis? No, but I know you want her to be. They played once. It was barely, didn't really count though. They played one set, and it was a retirement victory for Rybakina. I mean, when you've been timed out 16 times in 4 months, I'm a little bit worried. Can Nadal beat Federer? Not anymore. Is it okay to be a Rybakina and Eala hater? Yeah, but just don't bring it here. Like, just keep that to yourself, you know? Be a silent hater. That would be much appreciated. Yeah. Keep it to yourself. Say it to the mirror. Like, don't bring that shit here, please. Potapova does have a winning record against Gauff. Could be dangerous. Well, yeah, and she's also been in a little bit of form too, right? She made a final in Linz a couple of weeks ago. She just beat Penko, who we know can play on clay. Am I a hater of any players? No. I am not. There's no players that I hate because what's the point? There's players I like more than others just because everybody has favorites, but no, I don't hate any players. I get frustrated at players the way they play sometimes, but I don't hate them. Hate's such a strong word. Is it just me, or is this generation more well-rounded? Which, you mean on the WTA or the ATP? All right, here we go. Rybakina is going to serve. I'm going to go Rybakina in 3. Serve. Into the back of Potapova. Rybakina forehand. Goes long. Love 15. Love 15. Serve again. First serve, fault, second serve. As we get a backhand rally, that goes out by Rybakina. And it's love 30. Love 30. As Rybakina, good serve, 15-30. All right, 15-30. As Rybakina is down break points already, 15-40. As Potapova hits a passing shot and breaks. First game, 1-love. 1-0 Potapova. All right. 1-love. Break to start. I've been watching Potapova. She's a beast. And I played Penko and played Penko in beast mode. This could be a good match. Oh yeah. I think we're all that's why I'm watching it. Because I know that Potapova's been playing really well lately, and Rybakina has been playing a lot. All right. Love 15. Potapova misses it. As a default, second serve. Serving to the backhand of Rybakina. Backhand Potapova is off the tape and goes in. That was lucky. That was going out until it hit the tape and then went whoop. Came back in. 15-0. Potapova serves again. First serve's a fault, second serve. As we had a forehand from Rybakina, who goes long. And it's 30-15. $30-15. $30-15. As we return now to the forehand of Potapova. Sliced and long by Potapova. 30-0. Hoda is the future of what? First serves a fault, second serve. Of Spanish tennis. Double fault Potapova, 30-40. I really want to see Hoda play Sinner. We need to see that match this week. It'd be so much fun. Potapova with the fault, second serve. As with a backhand now to the forehand. Rybakina, forehand from Potapova. Into the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova. Again to the Rybakina forehand up the line of the backhand of Potapova. Rybakina forehand into the slice of Potapova. Forehand Rybakina again. Potapova slice. Rybakina. Forehand again. Potapova passing shot is a lob, and that's just too good. We get the deuce. Great lob by Potapova. And we get to deuce. Ruud destroyed the net with his serve earlier. Yeah, he did. It was an accident. All right, deuce. As Rybakina hits a return winner. Advantage Rybakina. Advantage Rybakina to take back the break. Potapova with a serve. Into the backhand, Rybakina. Good serve by Potapova. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. All right, Potapova serves a fault. Second serve. All right, Potapova advantage. Advantage Potapova. Potapova serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Double fault. Back to deuce. All right. Advantage Potapova. Another good serve out wide. And it's 2-love, Potapova. 2-love. Two zero. Who remains the best player now to beat Sinner if he reaches the finals? Usetti? Zverev? I don't know. Hoda? All right. Nice pickup by Rybakina, but she hits it in the net. She got there, but she just couldn't move Potapova around enough. Love 15. Feast. Menchik. Medvedev still around, but on clay, I don't know. Tsitsipas, Cerundolo, Rude. Lehechka. I mean, there's definitely still threats. I wouldn't say Sinner's got an open road yet. Still got some threats, but it's hard to see him not. It's hard to see him not winning. But look, anything can happen, right? As that goes out by Potapova on the return, it's 15-0. You just need someone to get inspired and play like what Menchik played in Doha, right? Return goes out by Potapova, 30-15. As the backhand return goes into the backhand of Rybakina. 4-0 from Potapova in the net, 40-15. As the return goes in from Potapova and Rybakina overhits it, 40-30. As Rybakina serves a fault, second serve. As Potapova, great return. And that goes the net by Rybakina, deuce. All right, serve again. Into the forehand of Potapova. Rybakina forehand to the forehand of Potapova. Ooh, Potapova overhits it. Advantage Rybakina. Advantage Rybakina. As with a fault, second serve. Serving to the forehand. Potapova shanks it on the return, and Rybakina holds. 2-1. Potapova with the break. All right. Apparently Zverev left the match, like the end of the match he got injured. I don't know what it was. He didn't say either. But he has to play tomorrow night, so we'll keep an eye on Zverev's movements tomorrow and see what's up. But yeah, that's concerning. By the way, Zverev's opponent has yet to be decided, but it will be between Khachanov and Menchik. And they're still playing. Menchik won the first. 6-4. Man. What a day. What a day. All right, back to Potapova. She's got the break 2-1. Can do the Madrid winners or the Rome winners do better at Roland Garros on the women's side? That is a good question. That's a great question. All right. I'll find out in a second for you. All right, 15 love. Let me find some statistical information. All right. As that goes out by Rybakina, 30 love. All right, 30 love Potapova. All right, 40 love. Potapova. All right, Potapova with a double fault. And it's 40-15. All right, first serve is a fault. Second serve. It's Potapova holds 3-1. First set. All right. All right, 30 love here. All right, backhand rally as Potapova, again, the backhand of Rybakina. As Potapova backhand goes long, it's 40 love. All right, 40 love as Rybakina hits it in the net, and it's 40-15. 40-15. All right, as there's a hold from Rybakina with an ace, but it's still a break for Potapova. 3-2. All right. All right, I'm still trying to work out because it's fine. I'm looking at finding some really interesting data. So let's talk about it for a second. All right, so from a quick search and some quick work, 2009 was when Madrid became a tournament, right? That was when it became a an event. 2009, Safina was the dominant clay courter. She won Madrid, she won Rome, and then she made the French Open final but lost. Rizai won the 2010 Madrid Open. The winner of Rome that year was actually another randomish player, Maria Jose Martinez Sanchez, both winning their only 1,000 titles of their careers. But the French Open champion that year was Schiavone. So 2010 was a bit of a random year across the board. Everybody on the clay was, there was no, there was randomness all around, right? 2011, Kvitova won Madrid, Sharapova won Rome, but Li Na won the French. So again, there's not really any consistent Rome champion, Roland Garros champion, right? Yet. Madrid champions random, there's no consistency yet. 2012, where we started to this is where we started to see things. So Sharapova won Rome and Roland Garros. Serena won Madrid. Serena then swept the clay in 2013. 2014, it was Sharapova winning Madrid and Roland Garros, and then Rome went to Serena. 2015, it was Kvitova in Madrid, Sharapova in Rome, and Serena won Roland Garros. So again, 3 different champions. Same in 2016, it was Halep, Madrid, Serena in Rome, and Muguruza in Roland Garros. And then it was 2017 was the year that Serena didn't play for the first time. And it was random. It was Halep, Svitolina, and Ostapenko winning Madrid, Rome, and Roland Garros. Then you had Kvitova, Svitolina, Halep, Burton, Pliskova, Barty, Halep, and Swiatek back in Rome and Roland Garros in 2020. So there's no real, the Rome champion is the French Open champion that often. It's only happened a couple of times where, sometimes the Madrid champion wins Roland Garros. It's only recently where Swiatek's won Rome and then won Roland Garros. But she's also won Madrid and won Roland Garros. So, I mean, I don't know if there is a correlation. But I have to go one step further to figure it out. Because it's probably a better question rather than going, okay, well, how many people who win Rome win Roland Garros compared to Madrid? It's pretty similar. Besides Swiatek being the outlier, a lot of Madrid champions can also win the French. It's how do the Madrid champions go at the French? So if they win Madrid, do they still make it a good run at the French compared to the Rome champions and the French? So, the Rome champions could make the semifinals more than they do at Madrid champions, So I think that's probably a better way to analyze it. This is only for the ladies. By the way, for the men's, it's stupid to probably do it because, let's be honest, the men's is so skewed because of Rafa. So, saying, is Madrid more important than Rome? On the men's side, it's well, Rafa won everything, so it's really hard to get any sort of... And, the GOATs kind of ruin the data. Whereas at least on the clay, Serena didn't dominate the clay. So we can get a little bit more, understanding on the clay courts of the WTA. Because on the men's side, it's Rafa won Madrid, and he won Rome, and he won Roland Garros every other year, and then Djokovic would win sometimes, and sometimes Federer, and then one time Federer did. We're not going to get many answers because Nadal won everything, right, and kind of ruined we have to go to the finalists of Madrid and Rome, right? We have to go one step behind because Rafa just ruins the entire stat. Because the answer would be, well, yeah. But you have to add in Monte Carlo too, though. Monte Carlo, is that more important than Rome? That's probably, again, but Rafa skewed the numbers because Rafa dominated that too. Anyways, break point for Rybakina. But we're only just getting started because there's so much more to break down with this question. Because it is a relevant question that comes up every single year. As that goes in net by Potapova. 3-all, we're back on serve. So, in 2010... the Madrid champion was Aravani Rizé, and she won Madrid, and she ended up losing in the third round of the French Open, right? Now, Martinez Sanchez, who won Rome, lost in the first round of Roland Garros. That was the random year. Everybody, three random weird champions, three random events. 2011 Madrid champion was Kvitova. Roland Garros, she made the fourth round, right? Sharapova won Rome. Sharapova made the semis in Roland Garros. So all of a sudden, okay, Rome, the players that year, the player that won Rome did better at Roland Garros, right? 15 love. As Rybakina goes with a forehand into the forehand of Potapova, Rybakina wins the point. Potapova hits a lovely inside-out forehand. Okay, now Serena, she won Madrid, and she lost the first round of Roland Garros in 2012. Sharapova won Rome, and she won the French. So that's the first time that we've had that correlation. But the next year, Serena swept the clay, so that it's kind of irrelevant. 2014, Serena won Rome. Madrid went to Sharapova, and Sharapova won the French. Serena lost second round of Roland Garros, so Rome champion lost second round. That's not great. All right, 30-15. But now we start to get interesting because, before we get to Swiatek's domination, we had a little bit of a random bunch of champions. 30-15. As the forehand goes long by Potapova, 40-15. So in 2015, Kvitova won Madrid, She made the 4th round of Roland Garros. Sharapova won Rome and made the 4th round of Roland Garros. Serena ended up winning the whole thing at Roland Garros. Halep in 2016 won Madrid, 4th round of the French. Serena, she ended up making the final after winning in Rome. So made the final of Roland Garros. Lost to Muguruza. So now we're starting to see a little bit more who's had better results out of those, what event has produced better results. I mean, we've got to go, again, probably a step deeper, going, okay, who made the final of Rome and how did they go at Roland Garros as well? Just to add more context, right? Because sometimes, the champion of Rome could have a freak accident in the first round and lose, right? But the runner-up could be Sharapova, who won the thing, we got to probably go one step further again as Rybakina finally gets in front. So in 2017, Halep won Madrid. She made the final of Roland Garros. Svitolina won Rome. She made the quarterfinals. But Ostapenko ended up winning the whole thing. So Madrid did better in 2017. The Madrid champion was the better of the two. Kvitova won Madrid back in 2018. Made the 3rd round of Roland Garros. Svitolina ended up making the 3rd round of Roland Garros, but Halep won the whole thing. So they both made the same, got to the same place. 2019, Barty won Roland Garros, but we'll get to that in a second. Bertens, she won Madrid, but she only made the 2nd round of the French. Pliskova, she won Rome, but she only made the 3rd round. So again, not really great for either champion of those tournaments. Halep won Rome in 2020, which was a weird year because obviously, we had some weird, it wasn't a consistent, we didn't even have Madrid, so that doesn't really, that's a tough one to even include, right? 2021, the Madrid champion was Sabalenka. She made it to the 3rd round of the French. Swiatek won Rome and made it to the quarterfinals of the French in 21. But this is when the Swiatek era, doing this is actually really cool because then we can actually see and appreciate Swiatek's dominance on clay a little bit from 2020 to now. Up until last year, she had won at least one of the big clay court tournaments over the season. Jabeur won the French in won Madrid in 2022. And she lost in the 1st round of French Open. Swiatek won the French Open and also won Rome. So there's that connection again. Sabalenka, 2023 Madrid champion. She made it all the way to the semifinals. Rybakina, 2023 Rome champion, lost in the 3rd round through injury, but Swiatek won the whole thing. And then last year, Sabalenka won Madrid, made the final. Pellini won Rome and made the 4th round, and then Gauff won the whole thing. So that's where we get to for now, but we've still got plenty of other things we need to break down before we can decisively pick which tournament is better for Roland Garros. Now, everyone would just go straight to the surface and go in the altitude and go, well, Rome is more like Roland Garros, right? It's different, it's similar courts or similar surface speeds, right? Because Madrid is a faster clay court, but also the altitude is similar to Roland Garros because in Madrid it's higher and it's harder. But does that actually mean the result? That's one thing, yes. But does it actually, does Rome actually mean that if you do well at Rome, you do well at French, right? Or is Madrid still valid and still relevant for French Open glory? Should we give that some credit as a warm-up? If the people that win Madrid, do they also get their share of French Open glory, right? Is it not irrelevant, right? Which is more important and which is more successful? Because I think on paper, Rome sounds like the answer, but maybe Madrid might throw up some surprises. Anyway, 15-40, Rybakina, double break point, but she hits it out in the backhand, and it's 30-40. All right, 30-40. As Potapova says, fault second serve. All right, Potapova double faults, and there's the break. Rybakina up 5-3, and she is going to serve for the set. This has been a weird turnaround. Potapova was looking all sorts of dangerous, and then nothing. All right. All right, here we go. Love 15. All right, love 30. Potapova wants that break back. All right, another fault from Rybakina. Second serve. Into the forehand of Potapova. Rybakina forehand to the backhand of Potapova. Into the backhand of Rybakina. And Rybakina in the net. Love 40 to get back on serve straight away. All right, as that goes in the net by Rybakina. What was that? Ugly games by both. Potapova's going to serve to stay in the set. All right. All right. All right. So, chat, I have found the start of an answer for the question, the age-old question: what is better for French Open, Rome or Roland Garros? Rome or Madrid for Roland Garros? So, having a look at this in some detail, and we're still gonna go one step deeper than this, but so the player that wins Madrid and the player that win Rome since 2009, which is when Madrid became a thing for the ladies. The Madrid champion, so the Rome champion has done slightly better than the Madrid champion. 6 times it was the Rome champion did better at Roland Garros than the Madrid champion, and 5 times the Madrid champion did better than the Rome champion. Now, I'm not including 2020, and I'm not including any year that the Rome and Madrid champion did the same. So if they both made the quarters, it's a 0-0, right? It's a level. So 6-5 in favor of Rome when the Rome champion doing better than Roland Garros. But that still doesn't say that the finalists of Madrid and Rome, because Rome finalists might do better for Roland Garros as well. So then it would definitively say that you do well in Rome, Roland Garros, you're going to do okay there. So we have to go one step deeper. But we'll get to that in a second. Anyways, 15 love. So at the moment, over the last, 16 years, the Rome champion has done slightly better than the Madrid champion. Silly stat. Okay, so you must be fun at parties. 15 hours, that goes out by Potapova, 15:30. But let's see, we'll see what the runner-up looks like and how the runner-up is done at Roland Garros, because that could tell us a lot. It also could tell us, if there's more random finalists in Madrid, because players don't play Madrid as much, right? That's also a factor. Who plays Madrid? Like, do players skip Madrid, play Rome, and then, and then play the French? So that, if the best players in the world aren't playing in Madrid as much, like Swiatek didn't play Madrid 22, right? But she still won in Rome and Roland Garros, right? All right, 30-0. As the return goes into the forehand of Potapova. Forehand from Rybakina up the line in the net. And it's 40-30. Potapova. All right. As Potapova looks to hold. Serving to the backhand of Rybakina. Forehand now from Potapova's a winner. It's 5-0. 5-5. All right, 5-0. Potapova holds. It's been a weird, crazy set. All right, served on the tee. By the way, we also have to cross-check, right? How did the French Open champions do in Madrid and Rome? That might be also something we have to check. So cross-reference, rather than just going, okay, well, who won Madrid? Who won Rome? How'd they got the French? Who won the French? And then work backwards as well. And go, okay, did they do better at Rome or Rome or Madrid when they won Roland Garros? Or did they not play one, right? We've got to reverse that as well. All right, 30 love. I know, yeah, Gauff last year was in both finals, right? So that doesn't tell us anything. All right, 40 love. Nice hitting from Rybakina. A nice serving from Rybakina. As Rybakina serves again. As Rybakina hits it out, it's 40-15. Serve again. And the return goes out by Potapova, and it's 6-5. Rybakina. All right, 6-5. Potapova's going to serve to stay in the set. All right. All right, 6-5. So I'm actually looking and I'm seeing some very interesting, it's not as simple as you would think. That you would simply think that like, oh well, this tournament and this, like, some players have had some pretty bad preparations for the French and still won the French Open, which is weird as hell. Like Schiavone, she lost in the third round of Madrid, second round Rome, and then she won Roland Garros. 2010 was weird. That clay season was weird. Where was Serena is my question, right? Where the hell was Serena? Where was Serena in 2010? Was she not playing the clay that year? Because a lot of other players took the titles. Here we go. Potapova serving to get to this tiebreak. It's almost been an hour. This is a long Rybakina match. 15 love. And you know what the crazier thing is? When Penko won, she was a qualifier at those two tournaments. I don't think we talk much about that. When Penko won the French, she was a qualifier for Rome. And she lost this in the second round to Muguruza, who was the defending champion of Roland Garros. Gosh, she needs more credit. 15-0. She deserves way more credit for that. Like, what a run that is. All right, backhand. From Potapova to the forehand of Rybakina. Forehand of Potapova. As Rybakina forehand again. The forehand of Potapova. To the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova again to the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova down the line. Rybakina with a slice. Potapova. Cross backhand winner 30-15. 30-15. All right, 30-15. Potapova trying to keep hold. If you're just joining us, Potapova was up 3-1. And then Rybakina was up 5-3. As she hits a backhand up the line, winner Rybakina. And it's 30 all. All right, 30 all. As return goes short in the front of Potapova, Rybakina puts up a lob, but it's too short. And Potapova puts away the forehand, 40-30. 40-30. As Rybakina hits it out, we're going to a tiebreak. Here we go, chat. I'll tell you, we have yet to watch a bad match in the last couple of days. It has been crazy. All right. Who's winning this tiebreak, chat? As that goes in the net by Potapova. 1-love, Rybakina. One love, Rybakina. As Potapova serves again. Return goes in. The forehand of Potapova. Forehand of Rybakina on the stretch. Potapova with a forehand cross-court again to the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova backing on the stretch. Into the backhand of Rybakina. Potapova backing up the line. And then Rybakina in the net with a forehand. Ah, 1-0. One. All right, 2-1. Rybakina gets a mini break. All right, as Potapova with a great return. And it's 2-0. We're back on serve. We'll hit midnight again. I mean, yeah, it's already 11 p.m., so we've got another hour, and this match might go for another hour. All right, 2-0. As Rybakina serves. A fault. Second serve. Serving to the backhand of Potapova. Rybakina backhand up the line. Potapova with a forehand. Into the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova forehand again. As Rybakina goes up the line to the backhand of Potapova. Rybakina backhand. Potapova again with a backhand up the line for a winner. And it's 3-2 Potapova. All right. Nice shot, Potapova. 3-2. She gets the mini break. 3-2. All right, Potapova mini break. Serve out wide as a let. Serve again. All right, return goes into the backhand of Potapova. Backhand of Rybakina. Into the backhand of Potapova. Rybakina backing up the line. Potapova forehand cross. Rybakina gets it into the forehand of Potapova. Into that Rybakina backhand. Potapova backhand again. To the forehand of Rybakina. That's a good shot. Potapova slides it back. Into the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova forehand up the line in the net. We're back on serve. They change ends at 3-0. All right, 3-all. All right, 3-all. Back to Potapova. They change ends. As we're serving the backhand of Rybakina. Forehand from Potapova. Into the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova forehand in the nets. And Potapova smacks the ball in the net again. And it's 4-3. 4-3 Rybakina. As we get a fault, second serve. Second serve. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Rybakina. Forehand from Potapova. Again, the forehand of Rybakina. As Potapova forehand again to the forehand of Rybakina. Rybakina sprays it wide. We're back on serve. 4-all. No one can win more than 3 points in a row. Or 2 points in a row. All right, 4-all. Four. As Rybakina serves. An ace. All right, 5-4, Rybakina. Five, 4. It's still on serve, though. Potapova to serve. 5-4. As Potapova serves a fault. Second serve. Into the back end of Rybakina. Return the net. 5-all. Who's getting a set point? All right, 5-all. Potapova serves again. Another fault. Second serve. Goes the forehand of Rybakina. Return the forehand of Potapova. Rybakina. Up the line, forehand. Slice goes. No. The approach was out by Rybakina. So set point, Potapova. 6-5, Potapova, but it's on Rybakina's serve. Six-5. Set point, Potapova. Rybakina serves. Into the backhand. Potapova hits it long. 6-all. They change ends. All right. 6-6. Set point saved. I feel like Potapova has to win this set. Because Rybakina wins this set, the second set could be quicker. All right, Rybakina serves. A let. Serve. Into the backhand of Potapova. Backhand of Rybakina. To the backhand of Potapova. It's Rybakina forehand. Inside in. That's a great shot. Potapova gets it, but it's in the net. And it's 7-6 Rybakina. All right. It's on Potapova's serve. Here we go. 7-6. Serving to the back of Rybakina. Good return to the forehand of Potapova. Rybakina forehand cross court. Potapova again to the forehand of Rybakina. Rybakina hits it long. 7-all. 7-7. Both have had set points. Potapova serves. Into the backhand of Rybakina. Potapova with a forehand up the line. Rybakina backhand cross. Potapova hits it again to the back of Rybakina, who hits it long. 8-7. Potapova. Is that Greek sport? Those glasses are throwing me off. Is that Greek sport? It's Griekspoor, right? Talon Griekspoor, the ATP player. He's wearing like yellow glasses that are confusing me. It doesn't look like him. Is it him? Anyways, the glasses are really disguising him. It's like, it looks like him, but I can't tell. Those glasses, I can't tell. Anyway, second serve. Into the back of Potapova, return. Into the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova gets her forehand. Rybakina on the stretch. Potapova, forehand up the line. Rybakina backhand, cross court. Potapova gets it. Rybakina backhand. Down the middle. Potapova gets that too. Rybakina in control though as Potapova forehand. Into the forehand. Rybakina goes up the line. Potapova slices it back. Rybakina comes in. And puts a forehand cross court. Up goes a lob though. Volley from Rybakina. It's too good. 8-all. It is him. Okay. 8-all. That was a scary rally for Rybakina. You're just holding your breath. Good hustle by Potapova. All right, 8-all. All right, 8-all. Both have had set points. 1 hour played. Rybakina serves. To the front of Potapova. Return the back of Rybakina. Into the backhand of Potapova. It's Rybakina backhand. Again, the backhand of Potapova. To the Rybakina forehand off the tape. Potapova gets it. Rybakina forehand again. To the front of Potapova up the line. Rybakina backhand cross court. Potapova gets it back. Rybakina in the net with a slice. That was a great rally. And Potapova gets a set point on her serve. 9-8. Great rally. Potapova hit so clean. 9-8. Set point number 3 for Potapova. It's on her serve. Serve. Potapova to take the first set. Serve the back of Rybakina. Good return. Potapova up the line. And she fell over as well. But she hit the winner. What a way to win the set. She hits a backhand, slips over. But it's good enough. I think she might have skimmed her knee as well. But she'll take the blood and the first set. What a way to finish the set. Potapova falling over on a backhand. What a backhand it was too. All right, first set in the bag. Potapova, she's going to the bathroom. 7-6. Crazy finish to that set. All right. They're both going to the bathroom. All right. That's one of the best sets of tennis you can hope for. I mean, yeah, that was a great set. We had a couple of breaks in the middle there, but that tie break was perfect. 12 winners, 29 errors. It wasn't the prettiest set from Potapova. 9 winners and 33 errors by Rybakina. So it wasn't pretty. By any stretch, it wasn't pretty. But the tie break was, they were playing some great tennis at the end of that in that tie break for sure. When it got to like 5-all, that's when they started to play really, really well. Rybakina 2 is a joke. Ah, shut up. Get a hobby. Learn how to play golf or something. Rybakina looks 6 inches taller than Potapova. I think she is. They're just showing Potapova hitting the backhand as she fell to the ground. Like she knelt down to hit it, and then she sat down because she was basically on the ground anyway. Crazy shot. Like it was one of those like down on one knee backhands that like Kerber would hit. But then she ends up just like sitting back down anyway after she hits the winner and just like, whew, I won. It's a great finish to the set. Rybakina is definitely not playing late number 2 right now. Oh no. But she is definitely number 2. That person was just being crazy. Maybe they lost money. That's what it is. You've been here for 2 months. You've been timed out 21 times. I think that's enough. Rybakina has played really tough matches. True. So has Potapova, though. I mean, Potapova had a tough match last night. Both have gone to the bathroom, by the way. All right. All right. So, chat, do you want me to keep going on with the Rome versus Madrid preparations for Roland Garros, or do you care? Do you want me to keep breaking it down for you, or do you want me to just leave you hanging and you can figure it out yourself? Yes? God, no, please stop. Are you sure? I don't think you sounded convincing enough. Yes. Continue. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. More. Go on. All right. Oh, yeah, if you weren't here, you won't even know what we're talking about. So, somebody asked a question, is Madrid or Rome better for Roland Garros preparation? And I thought, instead of just going off like court surface and altitude, which is like, legitimate points, I thought, well, let's actually break down the data, right? Let's break down how many times has the Madrid champion done better than the Rome champion at Roland Garros, and vice versa. And also and now we're up to the point where we're seeing how do the Roland Garros champions do in those tournaments leading up to Roland Garros. So, in 2009, Kuznetsova won the French. She made the final of Rome. And she made only the second round of Madrid. So 1 to Rome. Schiavone, which was the random champion in 2010. She made the third round of Madrid, second round of Rome. Super weird. Didn't really do well before and won it anyway. Lina made the semis of both before she won the French in 2011. So nobody wins that. Sharapova made the quarters of Madrid, but she won Rome and Roland Garros. So that's obviously another one for Rome. So 2-1 Rome. Serena swept the clay in 2013, so nobody wins. Serena won. 2014, Sharapova won Madrid. Third round of Rome. Won the French. So Madrid gets one, so that's 2-2. 2015, Serena won the French. She made the semifinals of Madrid. She only made the third round of Rome. 3-2 to Madrid. So Madrid, as of the middle of the 2010s, was a slightly better results for the French Open champion. Muguruza, French Open champion 2016. She made the second round of Madrid and the semis of Rome. So 3-3. Ostapenko, which is super weird and this should be studied on its own. Ostapenko 2017. She didn't play Madrid because she was playing a tournament before and she couldn't qualify for Madrid. So she was playing in Prague the week before, so she couldn't get to Madrid to qualify to play the event. So she quit. She didn't play Madrid because she was doing so well in Prague. And then she qualified for Rome and made the second round. So I guess technically she did better in Rome, so Rome wins. And then she won the French Open, which nobody expected. Can we
make it more fun by adding Stuttgart?
Maybe. If we don't get to a conclusion, we can maybe add Stuttgart. But I think Stuttgart is sort of way more removed and less important. But we could add that in, maybe, yeah. We've got to do the men's side of things later anyway. Where can I watch? Stop spamming. All right, 2018. It was Halep who won the French. She made the final of Rome and the quarters of Madrid. So Rome wins again. What's that, 5-1? No, sorry, 5-3. 5-3 in favor of Rome. 2019, Barty won the French. She made the quarterfinals of Madrid, only the third round of Rome. Madrid get that one. 5-4 in favor of Rome. 2020 was a write-off. 2021, Krejcikova won the French. First round of Madrid, third round of Rome. I think it's a qualifier as well for one of those two as well. So Rome win that one, so 6-4. 2022, Swiatek didn't play Madrid, but she won Rome. So Rome get the win because she didn't play. Potapova won love. So Rome, 7-4. And then in 2023, Swiatek won the French. She made the final of Madrid, made the quarters of Rome, won the French. So Madrid win that one. And then in 2024, 2025, Swiatek swept the clay 24, and Gauff made both finals last year and won Roland Garros. So 7-5 Rome. The French Open champion did better 7 times compared to the 5 times for Madrid champions. Madrid for Roland Garros champions, if that makes sense. So again, slightly in favor of Rome. But not a definitive answer. Not like, well, Rome, hands down, is the most, the players that did well in Rome smoked it at the French. Not always. They only slightly. Not always. Good winner there from Rybakina, 15 love. Ah, 15 love. As we get a smash from Rybakina up the line. That's a good shot. 30 love. 30 love. Interesting details. Appreciate it. Yeah. Because I think it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, has anybody gone through this before? Probably. But I think we all just go, and I'm guilty of this as well, of just going, Rome is better preparation because of the court speeds and because of the conditions, right? We just go, yeah, it's better. But do the people that do well in Rome do well at the French, and do the people that do well at the French do well at Rome, or do they do well at Madrid? It's good to kind of break it down a little bit more to go, okay, well, what's the success rate for those tournaments in preparation for Roland Garros? Because obviously Madrid's not bad preparation. Otherwise, no one would win the French Open who had won Madrid. So we're seeing a lot, I'm more surprised how, it's not super obvious that, yeah, Rome is the only, you can skip Madrid because Rome's the preparation. Not necessarily on the women's side. Madrid is also very valid as good preparation. It's just slightly more successful that people that do well in Rome or win Rome do well at the French, right? There's a little, just slightly. It's not as big as I thought it would be. To be honest, I thought we were going to see a bigger disparage. Madrid champions barely did anything at the French, and the Rome champions always made the quarters. But it's not. It's not. Madrid actually isn't that behind. Isn't that far behind. All right, deuce here as we get a forehand return from Potapova into the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova forehand again. Is long, and it's advantage Rybakina. All right, Rybakina gets the game. And it's 1-1. Now 1-1. All right, 15 love. As Potapova serves again. As Rybakina misses the return, 30 love. As Potapova serves a fault. Second serve. As we had double... Oh, no, it was a return in the net. 40 love. All right. Nice hold by Potapova. She goes up 2-1. 3 games played in the second set. All right. All right. How we doing, chap? Are we all hanging in there? What's up?
Thanks, Cam. Super interesting. I'm still shocked how Sharapova won multiple Madrid Roman RG. How did she adapt? Think Osaka. Rybakina can do the same.
Yeah. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Sharapova didn't like playing on clay, but she made it work. So there is always hope for those other players for sure. I'm just checking out what the runner-ups for these tournaments look like, and if there was any, like, because I think if more players that made the final of Rome, so runner-up or champion, ended up doing better at the French, that's going to give us way more of a, way more. Because if the winner of Madrid wins the French, it's sometimes it might have been Serena, right? But the runner-up is also, I think, super important. So the 2 players that made the final in each of the events, how did they do at the French? And vice versa, right? How did the Roland Garros runner-up do at Madrid and Rome? And did they do better on average, right? Because that'll give us a real interesting number, I think. And I'm sure it's going to be Rome. I'm sure. By looking at it, I'm going, yeah, I remember that person did well for Roland Garros and they're all runners-up for Rome. I'm like, okay. All right, it's Potapova. Wins the point 15-0. All right, 15-0. As that goes out by Potapova, 40-15. All right, 40-15. As with a backhand from Potapova to the backhand of Rybakina. Backhand Potapova up the line is wide, and it's 2-0 in the second. All right, 2-2 in the second. All right, back to Potapova. It's almost midnight, 30 minutes until midnight. Are we going to hit the midnight hour again for the second night in a row? As Potapova serves. A double fault. Was a double fault. 121, by the way. Whoops, sorry. It was a double fault. Another fault, second serve. As we had a 4 on the stretch from Potapova. It's no good. We're back and hit the line. Love 30. We still might have a whole nother set here because Rybakina is doing her best to get this break. All right, we got a fault, second serve. As it's 15-30. Nice serve from Potapova. All right, as Potapova getting angry at the coach, it's 15-40. She's making errors. 15-40. All right. As Potapova saves another one through 30-40. 30-40. As Potapova 4 up the line is a winner. Great shot. All right. Deuce. All right, deuce. As Potapova serves again. As we get a forehand up the line, goes out by Potapova. And Rybakina gets another break point. As Potapova comes to the net with a forehand and puts it away. Back to deuce. All right. Back to deuce. As we get a serve again from Potapova. Serve to the forehand of Rybakina. Forehand of Potapova. Rybakina forehand. Into the forehand of Potapova. Again, the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova forehand. Again, to the forehand of Rybakina. Up the lines. A great shot of Rybakina. And it's advantage Rybakina to take this break. All right, and Potapova with a good serve again. All right, deuce. As we just serve out wide the forehand of Rybakina. Rybakina in the net. Advantage Potapova. As Potapova slips and loses the point, we get back to deuce. It's back to deuce. As it a backhand inside out to the forehand of Rybakina. Potapova backhand to the slice of Rybakina. And the Rybakina slice goes long. Potapova's looking at the mark, but I think it hit the line. It had a weird bounce, but she won the point, so it doesn't matter. All right. All right, advantage for Potapova. All right, back to deuce. As we serve now to the back of Rybakina. Great return. Potapova puts up a lob. Rybakina puts away the smash. Advantage, Rybakina. Another chance to get the break. All right, first there's a fault. As the return goes in and the forehand goes wide from Potapova and Rybakina breaks 3-2 in the second. All right. All right. Three, 2 in the second. All right. 3-2. Winner of this, by the way, plays in a couple of days. So they get a day off tomorrow. And the winner of this match will take on Pliskova, who ended up winning like really early today. So unlucky for the person that does win this match because it's a marathon. Luckily they got a day off tomorrow, but Pliskova won really easily, so she's gonna be feeling pretty good about this. She's probably asleep, even though it's almost midnight. She's probably asleep. Who cares? She doesn't care who she plays. Is she gonna play her clone or is she gonna play Potapova? All right, as that goes the net by Rybakina, love 15, double fault. All right, love 15. As we get to 15-all, Potapova. I tell you, Potapova's on edge. She is not... she is like... looking like she's about to break a racket. She is on the edge. As we had nice pickup by Rybakina, but Potapova too quick and puts it up the line. 15-30. Little chance for Potapova to break back. Great pickup. Ah, 15-30. All right. As Rybakina with a good serve, but Potapova is saying the ball is out. And the umpire's pointing at the screen saying, I can't look at the mark there. I got to look at the screen. Hawkeye's telling us. Potapova's saying it's out by this much. This is the third time in the last 2 days that we've had this. We've had a player say a ball mark. Rybakina did it the other day. She did it yesterday. She was like, it's out by this much. Zverev did it earlier as well. We're gonna have a lot more of this, I reckon, over the next couple of weeks, because I'm sure each player, like, people are watching this going, oh, I'm gonna check the ball mark more often. I'm gonna tell them. So, like, more players might get a bit more vocal about this stuff. There's nothing they can do, though. All right, 40-30, Rybakina. All right, first serve, the fault, second serve. As that forehand goes to the net by Rybakina, we get the deuce. All right, we get the deuce. Chance for Potapova to break back. All right, as with a backhand to backhand rally, great shot by Rybakina. Potapova gets back, and then Rybakina hits a forehand long, and it's advantage Potapova to get back on serve. All right, back to Rybakina. Potapova to get the break back. It's been like this all day, though. Both these ladies have broken each other multiple times. As Rybakina forehand goes in, and Potapova can't get that one. Nice hitting from Rybakina. And we get to deuce. As Rybakina puts it away. Advantage Rybakina. Advantage Rybakina to take the 4-2 lead. And then a great serve down the tee. Okay, Rybakina takes the 4-2 lead. She had to fight for it, though. All right, 4-2. All right, back to Potapova. As Rybakina returns it into the backhand slice of Potapova. Rybakina forehand. Nosri goes around, hits the backhand instead, and puts it up the line for a winner. 15. I love 15. All right. Nice serve, Potapova, 15-0. All right. 15-30, Rybakina. Trying to get this... the security break, the insurance break, whatever you want to call it. All right, serve again. All right, as we're backing up the line from Potapova's a winner. She gets to 40-30. 40-30, Potapova to stay close. First serve's a fault, second serve. As we're backing up, wins a point, Potapova overhits it. We get the deuce again. All right, Potapova advantage. As we serve again. And the return goes out by Rybakina, and Potapova does hold. And it's 4-3 Rybakina in the second, but Potapova won the first set. Okay. All right, so I'm seeing some very interesting results when it comes to runners-up in Madrid and Rome, going for how they did at the French. It's not as obvious as you would think. Very strange. All right. That Nosri Gauff last set was sick. Congrats to Notsko. Yeah, it was great. Fernandez will push Rybakina again to the limits next round. She's not playing in the next round. All right. All right, 15-0. Let's see if Rybakina can keep this break. We've had marathons, by the way, the last 2 days. We have had crazy matches all round. Even the Zverev match ended up getting a little bit crazy. And that was straight sets, but it wasn't easy. All right, 15:30. Potapova looking to break back. Yeah, we've got about 8 minutes to midnight. So for the second night in the row, they're going to go overtime. Imagine if Zverev's match did go 3 sets. 15:30. As we get ace out wide. 30-0. All right, 30-0. As Potapova misses the return, it's 40-30. Rybakina to take the lead again. With a 5-3 lead. Keep that break. Serves another fault, second serve. All right, we're backing up. Missing and going to deuce. Another fight. As Potapova misses the return again. Another backhand error. And it's advantage Rybakina. Advantage Rybakina to take the 5-3 lead. And Potapova hits a return long, but it was a double fault Rybakina, so it doesn't matter. It's back to deuce. Back to deuce. Rybakina serves again. And return goes in the corner of Rybakina. 4 now from Potapova. Hits the line. Advantage Potapova to take back this break. I'll tell you, if Rybakina does lose this match, it's going to be a tough one because she has been in control of both sets. Like, she's had a break. She was up 5-3, and now she's up 4-3. As we return now, but it's a fault again. Second serve. Serving the back end of Potapova. 4 now from Rybakina, goes long. We're back on serve. 4-all in the second. Back on serve. All right, backhand to backhand rally. As Potapova goes into the forehand of Rybakina. Rybakina in the net, 15 love. All right, 15 love. As we just slice from Potapova into the forehand of Rybakina. Rybakina overhits it. 30 love. As a return from Rybakina goes in the back end of Potapova. Potapova hits it in the open court for a winner. 40 love. All right, Potapova holds. And it's 5-4 Potapova. Rybakina is going to serve to stay in this match. All right. All right. All right, here we go, chat. Can Rybakina hold? That is the question. Can she hold? She's had the break both sets. She should have probably won one of these sets. And she serves again. Return from Potapova goes the backhand of Rybakina. Potapova. Forehand to the forehand of Rybakina. That's Potapova. Again to the forehand of Rybakina. Now the backhand of Potapova to the forehand of Rybakina. Rybakina overhits it, and it's love 15. Love 15. Here we go. Serve again. There's a return. Nope. It's a double fault. It's love 30. Potapova is so close to finishing this match. All right, backhand goes in from Rybakina to the backhand of Potapova. Rybakina. Backhand again to the backhand of Potapova. It's Rybakina backhand. To the Potapova forehand is Rybakina. Overhits it. We got 3 match points. For Potapova to knock out Rybakina. Man, Potapova is on one. She was a lucky loser here too. Love 40. 3 match points. Rybakina serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. The backhand of Potapova return. To the backhand of Rybakina. Potapova on the stretch. Goes long. One saved. 15-40. One saved. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video as well. If you haven't already, we'll be back tomorrow for another big day, starting with Sinner. 15-40. Serve is a fault by Rybakina again. Second serve. Goes in the front of Potapova, return to the front of Rybakina, up the line to the backhand of Potapova, Rybakina. Backhand again to the backhand of Potapova, Rybakina. Again backhand to Potapova's backhand. Rybakina to the forehand cross. Potapova slices it back. Rybakina on the attack. Forehand straight to Potapova, who hits a lob. The volley goes in by Rybakina. Potapova gets the backhand. Rybakina in the nets. Potapova wins. 3 minutes after midnight. She knocks out the number 2 in the world. And she is in to the quarters. And she'll take on Pliskova. Okay. Great preparation for that match. Potapova wins. GG's. And that's got to be her best win ever, right? I don't think she's beaten a world number 1 before. So world number 2's got to be the number 1. Let me have a look. I mean, straight sets, it wasn't that easy. Straight sets is a little bit generous. Yeah, so she actually has beaten the number 2 in the world. She took out Kontaveit in Prague back in 22, 6-1, 6-1. So she has just leveled her career best result. But man, that was chances missed because Rybakina had a break in both the sets. She was up 5-3 first set. She had multiple set points in the tiebreak. She was up 4-3 in the second set. Got broken, lost 3 games in a row to lose it. Or lost 4 games in a row to lose it. So, yeah. Rybakina had that match won. But Potapova, I tell you, she's got great defense. Great defense. And he's on some confidence because she made the final of Linz a couple weeks ago. Obviously, the champion of took up was Rybakina, so it was a great matchup. She had to play qualies here because she didn't have a high enough ranking when the entry list came out 6 weeks ago. So 6 weeks ago, she wasn't able to enter this tournament based on ranking. Had to play qualies, lost in the qualies, got a second chance. Thanks to, who pulled out? Was it Mukova or was it? No, it was, who pulled out? Potapova came in for Keys. Keys pulled out with illness. So she got that bug that everybody else was getting. And Potapova came in. She took out Penko. And now she's taking out Rybakina. She'll take on Pliskova, Gauff, Noskova, Kostyuk, Potapova, Pliskova. One of them's the finalist. One of them makes the final. Potapova, Kostyuk, Noskova, Pliskova. Pliskova is the only one that's ever gone the distance here and made that final, I think. I'm pretty sure she made the final. Did she win the whole thing? No. She made the final in never. So we're getting a new finalist. But Pliskova's the veteran. She knows how it's done. All the rest are young and trying to get there for the first time. So the bottom half of the draw has blown wide open with Gauff losing, Rybakina losing today. Absolute carnage. Obviously, Anisimova pulling out early in the week. Boko losing. Pegula losing. Both shock losses. And Keys pulling out as well. So it's opened the draw right up. And now we have a new finalist in a week's time, or in less than a week's time. Up at the top, we've got Andreeva, Fernandez, Baptiste, and Sabalenka. So sort of random. Only 2 top 10 players have made it to the quarters. This is the weirdest event on the WTA side out of the big one so far. I mean, we've had a lot less strange things happen. Even in February, we had a little bit more consistency amongst top 10. This week, top 10 has been wrecked. And this was carnage the last, especially today. I mean, Gauff and Rybakina both losing. Huge. And Sabalenka is just cruising up the top. And we almost lost Andreeva as well. Andreeva nearly lost today as well. So it was crazy. So yeah, Sabalenka's draw now. She is, I mean, she was the favorite, but she's now, Andreeva's the only threat out of a top 10 perspective, but she should, if she makes the final, I mean, Pliskova in the final would be interesting, but she should win the final if she makes it. And we'll see if she makes it, because Andreeva is there. Fernandez did really well last week against Rybakina, so maybe she can do something. Who knows? But yeah, there's your quarterfinals. It's going to be Potapova, Pliskova. It's going to be Kostyuk versus Noskova. Those are going in a couple of days' time. Sabalenka is going to take on Baptiste, and it's going to be Andreeva taking on Fernandez. There you have it. GG's. GG's. What a win for Potapova. I mean, playing great. Stats. Nearly, was it 2 hours? Just under 2 hours for 2 sets. Marathon. Wasn't the best match by either player's standards. 24 winners, 43 errors by Potapova. 22 winners, 56 errors by Rybakina. 7 breaks a serve. Yeah, a lot of errors, a lot of double faults from Rybakina as well. So, yeah, not a pretty match from either lady. But, man, great hustle by Potapova. I'll tell you what that was like. Potapova kind of did what Gauff does to some of these big hitters. Like, okay, it wasn't pretty, but the defense of Potapova was able to just give Rybakina one more shot, and Rybakina eventually missed. That's how Gauff beat Sabalenka at the French Open last year. So, yeah, the hustle on the clay. It wasn't pretty. There was a lot of errors, but it is effective. It can work, and Potapova just kept getting it back. All right, and that's it. Past midnight for the second night in a row, and that is done. Now, tomorrow, Sinner plays. He's playing in about 11 hours, so that's fun. But, yeah. Could Norrie put up a fight tomorrow? We'll find out. So, Noskova Sabalenka final, right? I mean, Kostyuk's playing well too. Kostyuk's playing pretty well. Fernandez Sabalenka on clay would be interesting. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a very interesting lineup. Very interesting lineup. Baptiste Potapova possible final. Maybe. What about a rematch of Linz? Maybe it's Andreeva Potapova final. I kind of would love to see Pliskova get through, but I know it's a long shot. Lots of pressure for Gauff soon. 2,650 points to defend soon. Yeah, I mean, everyone's got points to defend if they're up the top. Eventually. Swiatek the same. I think Swiatek's got more points to defend. Wimbledon and the French Open semis. So add Swiatek to that list too. She's got a lot of points too. A lot of players have a lot of points to defend. All right. Well, that's it, chat. That is that. What a result to finish the night. By the way, chat, thank you all for... I know we're talking a little bit off topic for a while. Just to see whether or not Madrid and Rome, how relevant, like what's more relevant for the French. And I got to be honest, I don't think there's... I mean, Rome slightly, by results, has proven that it's maybe a better preparation, but Madrid also has done pretty well. Like Madrid, when you're the runner-up in Madrid, you do better than the runner-up of Rome in the same season. So that's interesting. At the French Open, that is. That's kind of random. Sorry, the French Open runner-up does better in Madrid than Rome. And the winner of Roland Garros does better in Rome than Madrid. So I guess the winner of Roland Garros, Rome is more relevant. I guess we could just put it down to that, right? The runner-up at Roland Garros does better in Madrid on average than Rome. 47% of the time does better. 24% of the time goes to Rome. But then, yeah. Anyways, that's a rain delay video, which we'll probably do in Rome because it's probably going to rain there, right? Anyways, my fantasy team is cooked. Yeah, I've got Andreeva, so I'm not mad. What's my ATP fantasy team doing? Surely I'm on 1,000 points by now. No. I'm on 892 points. Zverev staying close. I needed to get Tsitsipas or Hoda. I can't believe I didn't get one of them. I should have got Steph. I'm still shocked by this result. I know, right? Crazy. Hurkacz is playing a challenger tomorrow. Is he? Okay. Interesting. Just barely. It would only take a couple of wins to flip the data points to Madrid. Well, yeah, this is on the women's side, though, right? So this is WTA. But yeah, it is interesting. Like, and there's probably... I mean, I'm probably missing something. But yeah, but like just to conclude the TED Talk that we were doing throughout the match. So the champion of Madrid over the last 17 years, because it's been around for 17 years. Champion of Madrid has and the champion of Rome. The champion of Madrid has done 5 out of the 17 times, done better than the Rome champion. The Rome champion has done 6 out of 17 times, and then the rest are all they had the exact same result. Like Swiatek won both, or they the finalists were the same, or they both made the third round of the French or whatever. So yeah, so 29% of the time, the Madrid champion does better than the Rome champion at the French. And 35% of the time, the Rome champion does better than the Madrid champion at the French Open. The runners-up of Madrid, 29% of the time do better than the Rome champions at the French. And 41% of the time, Rome runner-up does better at the French than the Madrid runner-up, which I think is super interesting. But then you do the flip side. How did the Roland Garros runner-up do in those tournaments? The Roland Garros runner-up, 47% of the time did better in Madrid. 24% of the time did better in Rome. And then the champion of Roland Garros, 29% of the time had a better result in Madrid than Rome, but 41% of the time had a better result in Rome than Madrid. And then 30% was the same. So that's what all the numbers that I'm missing are just like, oh, well, they did the same. Like Swiatek Gauff made the final last year of both, right? So she just did the same. or somebody made the third round of both and then made the final, right? That's what same means. So it's interesting. So I guess the runner-up, if you do well in Madrid, you make the runner-up be the runner-up. Like there's a great chance if you win Madrid, you could really do well and make the final of Roland Garros, but you won't win it because the person that wins Rome or does better in Rome usually does better at the French. By the data points. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like the runner-up of Roland Garros, if you do better in Madrid and you make the final, it's like, well, you didn't win. So Rome, therefore, gives you a better chance of winning the French. But Madrid gives you a better chance of making the final, which I think is super weird. So if you want to, if we got to keep an eye on this, because whoever does well, whoever makes the final of this tournament might make the final of the French. It's more important than what happens in Rome. Whatever happens in Rome is more about who wins the whole thing. But if you want to figure out who's going to make the final of the Roland Garros, this is the tournament to focus on, apparently, according to the to stats. But that's only half the picture. Obviously, the men's side of things, you got to figure that out too. But it is interesting because I think, again, the reason why I'm going through this and why I want to kind of like, it's so easy to just go, you know, Madrid is high altitude and it's fast. Rome is slow. And it's the same as Paris. And you go, okay, yeah. But like, you know, it's fun to like dig into the numbers and go, you know, but do the numbers reflect that? And they do, but it's not as obvious as just like Rome is way more important than Madrid. It's not that easy, right? It's not that simple. It actually shows that Madrid's really important if you want to make the French Open final. You want to win the whole thing, you've got to, there's 12% more of the most of the time, 12% more of the time, Rome's more important than Madrid. But yeah, but on the men's side of things, we'll figure that out tomorrow if we get bored. It never worked with Paolini. She won Rome and got to the fourth round of Roland Garros. Well, yeah, exactly. It's not a foolproof plan. It's not like it doesn't. Not every year is going to be like that. Yeah, if you win Rome, you don't win the French every year or make the final every year. But the averages show that, or the percentages show that more often than not, the people that do well in Rome have a better chance of winning the French. They don't do better at the French all the time, but they have a better chance of winning the French. The people that do well in Madrid do have a better chance of the people that finish runner-up at the French Open usually have a better Madrid result. Which, again, I find so weird. It's so weird to think that, but it's like, okay. But it's also funny because if you think about it too, why would that be? Well, if you do really well in Madrid and then you don't do well in Rome, then you can recover. You still have confidence because you've just done well in Madrid, and you can recover some confidence and some fitness before the French and have another run. Whereas maybe doing well in Rome, you get to that final hurdle at the French and then you're too tired, right? You know what I mean? Like let's say you make the final of Rome, and then you got to go to the French Open the next week and do it all again, right? And then you get to the final and you're like, oh, I'm too tired now. Whereas if you do really well in Madrid, yeah, you might run out of steam in the final of Roland Garros, but you still can at least make a run because you had that time off in between, if that makes sense. I don't know. There's something there. I'm trying to figure it out. All right, I'm out of here. But it is funny. And also super stats nerdy if you're into that stuff. Can it be explained? We're trying our best. It can be explained. I'm looking at a spreadsheet of explanation. We got to do it on the men's side of things, though, because on the men's side of things, I mean, even though Rafa dominated, we can still, try and figure out like who was the runner-up in Madrid, and how did they do at the French compared to Rome and all that kind of stuff. Maybe we find out different numbers there. Maybe something surprises us, because obviously Rafa cleaned up the clay, but what about the runners-up of these tournaments, right? Anybody with brain knows that what Cam is saying don't hold any water. God, you are boring. Like, what? Why? Like, what are? What's something you like? And let me like, can you go on, like, can you do, like, work really hard on something and then me just, like, shit all over it? Can I do that to you? Or is that what happens to you every day and then that's why you're doing it to me? Because you're projecting. Get the hell out of here. Bros kind of come in here and burst our bubble chat. I take offense to that? Yeah, get stuffed. Just because you're not having a good day, don't have to project it out on us. We're trying to figure things out and we're trying to do some good for the world. What are you doing? You're just trying to drag us down. Come on now. See you later. Bye. We'll see you tomorrow. Menchik played very well against Hashanov. Yeah, Menchik Zverev's tomorrow too. I totally forgot about that because we're watching this one, but that's tomorrow night. Paolini is not part of the stats because she won her home turf and was spent emotionally. Well, that's a good point too. That's a good point too. I mean, yeah, because Schiavone did better at Rome. Actually, she did better in Madrid when she won the French, but she did better in Rome when she made the final. Which, again, you know, it's yeah. Brainless Cam, why are you here then? You tell him. Yeah, exactly. Really appreciate the analysis. Thank you. Well, that makes a few of us. Look, if you want to redeem yourself, you go and do your research and then you come back with a spreadsheet full of research and then you can tell all of us about it. And we can poke holes in it and tell you that it was a waste of your time. How about that? That sounds like fair. That sounds fair. Any news on Vondi? No. She's not allowed to play, as far as I know, and she's not playing because she's stepped away from the game for now. So, yeah, not sure what's going on with Vondi, but if I find out, I'll let you know. There's been nothing, no update yet, as far as I can tell. All of us appreciate the analysis. That's why we watch. Yeah. No, I feel like we don't get a chance to do this stuff because I stream so much, so we don't ever get the chance. But I like to I think, what was the video about? Gil did a really good video recently on, because so many people ask this too, right? People ask these questions. And he did a video on, I think it was, are players getting injured more now than they ever used to? And he did a whole thing on that. And I'm like, that's so interesting to go into the numbers because it's easy to just go, yes, because Alcaraz withdrew. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to just kind of go, well, pick 3 players and say yes, or pick 3 players and say no. It's just so, it's like, it's better, it's more fun to like go, okay, let's get a massive group of data and try and see what it says rather than just kind of going, yes, no, maybe. Like, and Gil did that, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love that. And I don't think, like, he came to an interesting conclusion. So go watch that video on his. I don't know if I think he put it on his YouTube channel. It's a shorts video. It's a YouTube short video. But like, that's so much fun. We don't get time to do that because I'm either asleep or I'm streaming. So that's why I'm happy to. I love to go through this stuff because it shows. You find things out that you wouldn't know. Like, you see things that like weird kind of stats that come out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even, like, the fact that, you know, Penko was a qualifier in both Rome and Madrid, and some of you probably already knew that. And then she came out and she won the French. You go, wow, I totally forgot about that. Or, you know, the fact that, you know, Schiavone didn't have a great preparation and then won the French anyway, right? Or that, again, that the runner-up of the French does better in Madrid on average. And you go, that's weird. What a weird stat. And not even close. Like, does on average by a mile. Like, almost 50% of the time, the French Open finalist does better in Madrid than Rome. Almost half the time. Which is crazy. Including Sabalenka last year, Palini the year before, and Pavlyuchenkova back in 21. I mean, what a weird, wonderful stat. Vondi could face a 4-year ban, but she's bound to fight that. Yeah, well, that's why we got no update, though, because everything's kind of in limbo. Hoda will win in straight sets. That's my prediction. Ooh, we'll see that tomorrow. Tomorrow, what are we watching? Man, I have no idea. I'm trying to get my brain around what just happened there. Sinner, obviously. Sabalenka tomorrow night, definitely. Probably Zverev-Menchik, right? I mean, that's a pretty fun one. Andreeva Fernandez is kind of good too. We might watch Hoda versus Kopriva. If not, we'll probably end up watching Tsitsipas Ruud, because I think that's really interesting. Musetti Lehechka's great as well. Medvedev Kaboli. I mean, tomorrow is crazy. Tomorrow is actually awesome. So at this stage, some of those names and maybe more. So yeah, definitely watching Sinner first thing though against Norrie. So definitely starting with Sinner. But anyways, I'm out of here. I'm stuffed. We've been here. We've done, I don't know how much streaming today. I'm gonna say at least 11 hours. Hang on a second. We've got 3 hours plus 2 hours plus 2 hours plus 3 hours. What's that? 10 hours? Yeah, we've done about 10 hours of streaming today. And we had like 5 hours, and a bit of a break, a 1 hour break in the middle, lunch break in the middle. So I'm gonna go pass out. But we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back later today to do it all again. Potapova wins. She knocks out Rybakina, biggest upset of the week. But Coco also lost, which was a huge upset this morning today. Sabalenka is the only one left with Andreeva that is, expected to do well in these tournaments. But Potapova, what a win. She'll take on Pliskova in the quarterfinals. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the 4th round and a couple of quarterfinals for the ladies as well.